What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping in to watch my video today. So I'm gonna break down exactly the strategy that I used and that I implemented into my life to lose 20 pounds in just 4 months. Yes, you heard that right. I lost 5 pounds a month and I was still able to enjoy my life. I ate the foods that I wanted to. I also had a few cocktails. I'm not a big drinker, but every once in a while I will have a few cocktails with my wife, or if I'm in a social setting and I choose to do that. I really didn't restrict anything out of my lifestyle. And that's the beautiful thing about this. And that's why I want to share this with you guys, because I know that there's a lot of parents out there that you're like, God, I just want a structure and a strategy that I can use for my life and that I can stick with. And here's the thing. This is a strategy that you can use, okay? These are strategies that I use with all of my current clients, okay? And this will not work if you are not consistent. There has to be a mental shift before this even starts to happen. You have to, and this mental shift, what I mean by that is you have to commit to a few habits and do them for as long as you need to. And I would say stick with them. I have the same habits and I've had the same habits for a long time. They all work. But when you start seeing that you're not progressing as fast as you want to, then you want to switch things up. You want to switch the diet. You want to add in cardio or do more cardio. You want to starve yourself or whatever it is that you do when you're not seeing the outcome that you want. There's going to be days that your weight's going to be up. There's going to be days that it plateaus. Weight loss is not linear. You have to understand this. So some days it's going to go down. Some days it might stay the same. Some days it might go up, and then some days it might go down. As long as you're following a process and a structure that's for you. I followed a process and a structure that's for me. That's built for you. Now, is this going to be built for you? No, it's not. But you can start implementing these things right away. And I'm actually going to break this down a little bit easier for you guys. Now, I do track my macros. I'm going to have you guys, hey, start tracking your food so that you're managing what it is that you're putting in your mouth. You have to think as tracking your macros. And if you get turned off by that, that's perfectly fine. But you have to think of this like your budget. Do you track your budget? Do you track your money? And if you don't, you're probably broke. And if you do, you probably have an understanding of where your money's going. And if you do like tracking your money and you like to see where your money's going, well, then you should probably learn to like tracking your macros and learning how to track your food so that you know where your body's going. So let's dive into this, because I'm gonna make this video as short as possible, because I know you guys are all busy that are watching this, and I know that time is of the essence for you. So the first thing that I did, and that I'm gonna talk about, is my nutrition. So I was eating about 1.25 grams of my lean body mass of protein. I was eating about 150 grams of protein every single day. The goal during a cut or a fat loss phase is not to build muscle. It's to keep the muscle, okay? I was eating about 200 grams of carbs because that's exactly how much I weighed. And the fats that I was on, now I'm not gonna tell you the fats that I was on because they're lower. And I'm not gonna just have you guys start going into low fat. Now, it does help when your fats are relatively lower. I will tell you that they were about 20 to 25% of my daily caloric intake. So they were low, okay? But I'm gonna break this down on what you should do. So I track this in MyFitnessPal, okay? There's a free version and there's a paid version. I'd recommend getting the paid version. It's so much dollars a month and it's like 85 bucks for the year. Saves you some money. Why would I get the paid version? Well, you can scan barcodes, you can scan meals. I don't really agree on scanning meals because I don't really understand how that works. I would just track it and take the couple minutes to actually put the numbers in there. So I would get that, and then what I would do is I would start tracking your protein. I would start tracking your protein and your calories, okay? There's a lot I will put a total daily energy expenditure in the link below so that you can see what your total daily energy expenditure is, meaning how many calories you burn. And then what you should do, wherever that number is, you should take, it depends on how aggressive of a cut you wanna get on. If you wanna start a little bit smaller, I would go 300 to 500 calories. If you want to get a little bit more aggressive, I would do 500 to 700 calories. And if you want to get real aggressive, I would go, 700 calories plus. But I wouldn't eat anything below like 1,400 calories because that's really, really low. And here's the thing, you could be watching this and you're maybe like 4'3" or something like that. Yes, I do understand, but what I'm gonna tell you is that you don't have to do any cardio. All you have to do is track your food, lift weights, and maybe go for some walks. You can if you want to, you don't necessarily need to, but I recommend it. It helps me feel good. So you're gonna take your goal body weight, and I want you to multiply that by 0.8, 0.9, or 1. And I want you to eat that in grams of protein. So that's how your protein, and then you're gonna track that every single day in MyFitnessPal. And then you're gonna go into this, you're going to the link that I sent you, okay? And then you're gonna set yourself into your own deficit. Okay, this might take some fucking work and discipline, but here's the thing. You have to be disciplined in order if you want this really bad. If you want to lose 5 pounds a month, you could even lose more depending on where you're at currently. But if you want to lose 5+ pounds a month, you got to get disciplined. It's got to start here. It can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. But then now that you have to go do the work and you have to, see how many calories you're burning on a daily basis, and then you're like, I'll do it later. No, if that's you, then get out of this video, and you don't even need to be watching this video. So you're gonna go into there, you're gonna type in all of your information. It's gonna be weight, height, if you're a male or female, and then it's gonna give you a total daily energy expenditure. And 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of body fat burned or gained. So you're gonna get a number, and then what you should do is take out your little calculator on your iPhone and deduct 500 calories from that, okay? Or 700 calories from that. Start there. Okay, say if you deduct 500 and you eat all these calories in a week or on a day and you're like, holy shit, I'm really, really full. That's pretty normal, because when you're eating cleaner food, you're gonna get fuller a lot faster. So if you're really full and you can't finish all the meals or the calories, fine, go to 700 calorie deficit. Okay, and a 700 calorie deficit times 7 days a week is going to be a 4,900 calorie deficit. If you divide 3,500 divided by 4,900, that's like a pound and it's like a pound and some change that you lose every single week. So set your protein. So take your goal body weight, times it by 0.8 or 0.9 or 1, and then you're going to eat that in grams every single day of protein. Meaning when you weigh out 100 grams of chicken on the scale, you're going to punch it in MyFitnessPal and it's going to tell you how many grams of protein. I would recommend eating anywhere from at least 3 to 5 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack, or at least 3 to 5 meals. I had 4 when I was doing this. I had breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. Okay? My meals were broken down like this. I would take the amount of protein that I was supposed to have on a daily basis, and I would divide that by 4, and that's how many grams of protein that I was eating with each of my meals. So I was having, I think it was like 35 to 40 grams of protein per meal, personally. That's what I was doing. Now, with your carbohydrates, I want you to make sure, have this be with all your food actually, 80% whole foods, okay? If you take a plate, you're gonna break your plate down into 80% of it is gonna be whole foods. The other 20% can be the foods that you love. Or 80% of your day should be whole foods and the other 20% of your day can be the foods that you love. You don't have to cut out anything. You just have to make sure that you're tracking it and make sure that you're actually hitting your calories and your protein. One little rule of thumb, I would keep an eye on your fiber content, okay? I would keep an eye, just make sure for all women, I would have anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of fiber. And then for men, I would have 30 to 40 grams of fiber. You're gonna get that from fruit, whole grains, and vegetables. So we got your calories set, okay? You're gonna go into that tracker, you're gonna find out, you're gonna put yourself in your own deficit, you're gonna put your goals in MyFitnessPal, and then you're gonna get your protein, you're gonna put that into MyFitnessPal as well, okay? Now, if you wanted to, you want to go a little bit deeper, okay? I did my protein at about 35% of my daily caloric intake. The other was 45%, so what do we got? 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then 20% was my fats. Now, I don't recommend you just taking and doing 20%. You can if you want to. It's going to be a little bit lower fat, but I can handle that. I've done that before. I'd maybe set it at like 25. If you want to do that, you certainly can. All right, let's get into workouts. So workouts. I did a push, a pull, a leg day, and then I repeated push, pull, legs. I worked out 6 days a week. You do not have to work out 6 days a week. I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time. Workouts make me feel good, okay? So now sometimes I work out 4 or 5 days a week, but this is what I did to lose the 20 pounds, okay? So on my push day, I did anything push. I did chest, shoulders, and triceps. I did I don't know, 3 exercises for my chest. I did 3 exercises for my shoulders. And then I did a couple exercises for my triceps. Pull day, back and biceps. So I did anything that was pulling down this way. I did anything that was like pulling this way. And then I did anything that was pulling up. And then I did biceps as well. So I probably did 4 to 5 back exercises, okay, of just a mixture of pull-ups, rows, like cable rows. I did standing rows or barbell rows. And then I did biceps. I would do some barbell curls or some dumbbell curls and then some hammer curls. Legs, I did quads, hamstrings, and glutes. I would do a pretty self-explanatory compound movement. I would do squats or a leg press. I would do another variation of like step-ups. I would do leg extensions. I did hamstring curls. I would do lunges. Sometimes I did calves. Now, if you're a female parent on here, if you want to do calves, great. But most women really don't give a fuck about their calves. You know, they care about their legs and their butt. So that's what and then I just repeated. And then I did abs. I did abs probably twice, 2 or 3 times a week. That's what I did. I kept my workouts under an hour. Okay. Now, if you want workouts, you can go on YouTube, look up a push-pull leg day, or go to ChatGPT, look up a push-pull leg day with X amount of exercises. That's going to be under an hour. It'll spit out the reps and everything like that. Now, I was doing higher rep. I was doing anywhere from 15 to 20 reps on everything. Okay. You don't want to be lifting too heavy, especially if your form is trash when you're in a calorie deficit. You want to actually do a little bit lighter weight and get your form right on target and focus on 1 to 2 second negatives, meaning 1 to 2 seconds on the downward motion or the eccentric part of the movement. Okay. Now, here's what I did for cardiovascular work. I didn't really do any cardio. Okay. I walked. I just walked. Now, most of the time I would walk outside because I live here in Arizona. Sometimes I would walk on the treadmill afterwards. Now, if you want to enhance this progress, I would get on the treadmill 2 to 3 days a week, maybe 4, get on an incline and walk for 15 minutes at a 10 plus percentage incline at 3 to 3.7 miles an hour. Okay. I checked in every single Friday. I took photos and took my weight. Now, I was being coached by someone, so I put it in the app. Now, with all my clients, I coach them the same way. They check in every single Friday. They check in with their weight. They check in with their photos. And you can see, like, I will show you guys, like, here's where I started, just like what you saw in the beginning, and here's where I ended up. I lost 20 pounds and it felt good. I was more clear. I was getting up earlier. You know, I got to this place. I've been a bodybuilder before, so I knew exactly what to do, but I wasn't holding myself accountable, which is probably where you guys are at. You're probably like, I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it. Yeah, because you need someone to hold you accountable. You're not disciplined enough. You need some accountability in your life. It's okay to have someone on your side. It's okay to have someone there for you and guiding you along the way to draw up a structure. You're not a professional in this, so hire a professional to do it. You know, just like whatever it is that you do. People come and hire you or come to the company you work for because they can't do it on their own. And if this is something you're like, oh my gosh, this is just too much, this is something I don't want to do and I don't want to put together, okay, cool. Then go down and the link below, there's a booking link and you can actually book a call with me and we can talk about if you're going to be a good fit that I can help you with. And I can help you through this and we can actually draw up a structure for your lifestyle so that you can actually get to where you want to go with your body, so you have the energy to play with your kids, so you have the energy to go up and down the stairs, you have the energy to like hang out with your friends and you don't come home and you're dog ass fucking tired every single day. And you can actually look in the mirror and be happy with what you see and admire what you see, and you can actually fit into the clothes that you want to without feeling disgusted every single day. You feel disgusted right now because you have let yourself go. I get it. I've let myself go too. And it was just because, one, I stopped keeping track of my food. I started being sedentary and I just stopped caring. And at some point, there were several times that I looked in the mirror and I'm like, no, this is not okay. I don't like this. And if you don't like the body that you have and you don't like the mindset that you have to, there's a change that has to start. This is a very simple process that you guys can use literally today. Okay? You literally can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will make another video and I will break down all the meals that I eat on a daily basis. But here's the thing, what you can do is you could take your macros and you could actually put it into, if you really wanted to, and you could get a meal plan online. That would be really simple for you. Okay, I eat the food that I love. You can also eat the food that you love. I also eat the food that's processed because I'm a human being. I'm not a fucking robot. And I know you're not either. But you go too hard on the processed food. And that's why you are the way that you are. And you became too sedentary. So if you want to change, I think today is your day. And if you want to book a call, go book a call. Or if you're not ready, cool. Go follow my Instagram. I got a bunch of value in there that you guys can go take a look at, and some information that I think that maybe will help you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping.